Everybody, this is Kelly of Roho Chief Clothing, and this is my Instagram, as you see here. And when you look here, I'm going to click on the link. It will say creator Kelly _ McAlpine. That's to my personal Instagram account. But right here it says follow link to my YouTube, Facebook, and clothing below. So I'm going to click on this link right here. And then when you click on that link, then what's going to happen is that kids sports tee, as you see, baby's clothing, a shirt for a toddler. I even have bodysuits for babies. And then going back, I have the category for also women, tank tops. I also have polo shirts. I also have long sleeve shirts, as well as hoodies for women as well. And also for men, they have the same thing. Men tank tops, men t-shirts, got V-neck shirts, comes in a variety of colors, sizes. So, check me out if you would like to have some fashion that honors your ancestors and shows the world that you know exactly who you are and proud of it. Now, let's get into the video. Now on here, as you will see, that it says it's about getting what we deserve in this country. Is what Ice Cube basically told Roland Martin on his show, Roland Martin Unfiltered. And he basically said the reason why he included American Indians, or as he called it, Native Americans, as blacks, because he said, well, black people are Native Americans, or Native Americans are black people, and that all black people did not come over here from Africa on a slave ship, which he is absolutely correct about that. Because as we know now that, black is a status. It has nothing to do with race. It is actually a status, a slave status, that goes back to the Christian black slave codes that they have put on enslaved people of African descent, and also enslaved American Indians as well. And so he briefly touched on that, and he talked about in the contract with Black America, there's a thing in there where it talks about that the Indians will get the land that they were promised from the treaties that were signed with the United States government, and that reparation money will go to the descendants of African slaves. Now, to me, it seems like someone or some beings or somebody or a certain group of people, maybe the Boule or some sort of Masonic group or something like that, wants to cancel Ice Cube because of the simple fact that he's trying to defend the human rights of both of these two different groups of so-called black people. And that they are very upset with him, probably because of the fact that he's exposing the fact that all so-called black people weren't taken from Africa and brought over here.
It ain't nothing worse than a person, in my opinion, who's trying to get you to believe that they fighting for you, when the whole while they just fighting for them. It ain't nothing worse than that. And it happen all the time. It's nothing worse than a person who's trying to make you believe that they fighting for you, when the whole time they just fighting for them. And I'm cool with whoever just fighting for them. Just say you just fighting for you, though. Like, stop trying to play this game like you really trying to stand for this, or you really this is what you really represent. When you, the whole while, only moving with an agenda. You can't be trying to do what's best for me if you ain't asked me what's best for me. How you trying to do what's best for me if you trying to speak on behalf of me when you don't even know what my needs is? I can't. You can't be trying to do what's best for me. So I just find it interesting when people try to act as though they trying to speak on behalf of. When I try to give you my opinion on something, I'm just telling you how I feel about it. This how I feel about it. But there's nothing worse than a person trying to get you to believe that they out here fighting for you, when the whole while they fighting for them. So just fight for you and just keep it moving and stop trying to act as though you fighting the fight for something totally different than what your underlying intentions really are.
Ice Cube responded on Wednesday night to intense backlash in the hip-hop community and beyond after an advisor to President Donald Trump revealed on Twitter that the hip-hop star and NWA legend advised the Trump administration on a plan for Black America. Shout out to Ice Cube for his willingness to step up and work with President Donald Trump's administration to help develop the #Platinum Plan, Cartina Pearson tweeted on Tuesday, sending social media into a frenzy. Ice Cube, who's been a vocal critic of Trump, famously releasing a song titled Arrest the President in 2018, clarified his role and defended his involvement in a series of tweets. Facts. I put out the CWBA. Both parties contacted me. Dem said we'll address the CWBA after the election. Trump campaign made some adjustments to their plan after talking to us about the CWBA, the rapper tweeted. The CWBA refers to the rapper's contract with Black America, a 13-point document that he released on July 1st in the wake of nationwide Black Lives Matter protests. The contract urges all politicians asking for a vote from Black Americans to back the plan and demand an open debate and a clear and fair vote within the first 100 days of the 117th Congress in 2021 on the following proposals to be codified into specific bills. The rapper consulted with policy experts on the CWBA, which is described as a blueprint to achieve racial economic justice and touches on a wide range of issues including finance, police, criminal justice, and education reform. But amid the backlash, Ice Cube insisted that Black progress is a bipartisan issue. When we created the CWBA, we expected to talk to both sides of the aisle, he tweeted Thursday morning. Talking truth to power is part of the process. In response to a tweet that he's working with the dark side by partnering with Trump, Ice Cube wrote that for Black Americans, every side is the dark side for us here in America. They're all the same until something changes for us, he tweeted on Wednesday night. They all lie and they all cheat, but we can't afford not to negotiate with whoever is in power, or our condition in this country will never change. Our justice is bipartisan.
Check this out, Jack. It's funny, but this shit real. You can never cancel Ice Cube. That shit will never happen. Ever. That man done did all kind of shit from us from the beginning of his career all the way to now. Rap, movies, and fighting for, you know what I'm saying, standing up for our rights. My nigga, you got people who y'all love who don't do shit, who don't say nothing for us. Period. But y'all love them motherfuckers because they popping, or y'all trying to get them, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing but the kids. It can't be nothing but kids because they don't know shit. All they know is they think they made a new dance which came out so long ago. That shit old, but they think they did. It can't be nothing but kids and ignorant ass adults who think you can counsel somebody. You can't counsel nobody. God already done gave them what they need and put them in position. He's already wealthy. He's already there. There's nothing you can take from him. You know what I'm saying? I call counseling hating. That's all that shit is. It's just another term of hating, and y'all just want to hide behind the word counsel so you can hate on a nigga. Because I get it all the time. Motherfuckers get up there and try to hide behind some shit that you would do, but really they just don't like you. Know they hate that you on anyway. Ice Cube, I salute you. You know what I'm saying? all black people, we need to look at each other. We need to look at our fucking self. Because at the end of the day, we ain't doing nothing but counseling ourselves. You ain't counseling no white person that's doing shit to you. You won't counsel that police that'll knock your homeboy upside your head. All you gonna do is film it. You gonna go shoot your homeboy in the head like a dickhead. You gonna go shoot somebody that's black, kill somebody, and counsel all the black people to where you ain't got nobody to counsel. And then ain't nothing but, ain't nobody but you here. And then the white man gonna have at your ass. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be so quick to counsel people who can help you. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Watch yourself with your face ass. Ugly ass boy, girl.
What's happening, fam? You already know how I get down. Over the last few months, I've been really going deep into this political space, reading a lot of history, trying to understand how systems work, not getting caught up in anybody's rhetoric, but looking for my damn self, and just trying to figure out why we continue to flounder at the bottom. What is it? And what I found is that it's systems in place, as we all know. It ain't because, we ain't doing what we supposed to do as black people, because, of course, we all can do better. There's shit that we need to do to clean up ourselves and our community, but besides that shit, the system is fucked up. It's just designed totally, and not only designed, but there's a dedication to keeping us at the bottom of this country. And I don't know if we can count on any parties to get us about the shit, to be honest. So we are going to have to do a lot of things different as a black community. We have to pool our resources. We have to think about ourselves. We love all the other races of the world, but at some point we got to figure out how do we get ahead, because everybody's on top of us but us, or everybody's on top but us. And the shit ain't gonna work. We ain't gonna survive this the way it's going. It's just designed that I can't see the future. So we gotta change this shit. Everybody's been mad at me because I haven't been on the fucking, the gravy train of these candidates, especially Joe Biden and Harris. I don't trust none of them. No president has done right by us. So I don't trust none of them. So putting our hopes and dreams behind any of them just don't work. We gotta make them do what we want them to do. And there's only a few ways to do that. Now, I've been making contacts trying to, talk about these real issues, straight up, I believe the Democrats they've been nice, they've been cordial, so to speak. I don't really see them pushing their policies in any different direction. They still talking this minority, people of color shit that don't necessarily include us. That don't necessarily include black Americans, especially descendants of slaves. ADOS, American descendants of slaves. That ain't specifically us. It's everybody. We ain't gonna get shit. Because when you look around, everybody hates us. So we still at the bottom of that.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build?
So, I think the Democrats, they got every black celebrity and shit on their team, so they just figure, tell Q to shut the fuck up and vote. And so, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna push the program. We got a program, I'm pushing it on everybody.
Which is the website for a contract with Black America. It's a PDF. And I'm going to concentrate on where it says Black opportunity and representation. Now, in this first paragraph, it says the case for Neo-Reconstruction. Neo-Reconstruction is an aggressive initiative meant to redress past wrongs systematically imposed on Black Americans economically throughout many generations, wrongs that have had a severe negative impact on African Americans, both economically and educationally. The Pacific case and plan for Neo-Reconstruction is presented later in the document. A commission will immediately be formed and empowered to quickly put the plan into action. Separately, a plan will also be devised to make Native Americans, which we know he meant to say American Indians, whole within the same timeline. Black Americans will be compensated for the value of work contributed by their ancestors, while Native Americans, which we know is supposed to be American Indians, will get back the true value or land promised to them in various treaties. So you see that right there. Then he goes on to talk about affirmative action. It says for all secondary schools, colleges, universities, public and private, enrollment must meet or exceed the percentage of the Black population, and which is that 13.4%, as they claim that we are in this country, which we know that that's a lie. We actually make a way bigger of a percentage of the population than that. Then, skipping down, he talks about bank lending. Then here, it says judicial and public policy reform, recognize racism as a public health crisis that mandates a federal response, ban all privately run prisons, fine established to be paid by companies that profited off of the private prison system, prison labor not allowed without consent, prisoners to be compensated at minimum wage and hazardous pay provided for the applicable duties, declare the Ku Klux Klan a terrorist organization, lynching to be a federal hate crime and recommended federal sentence for life, free all prisoners for marijuana possession, free nonviolent offenders incarcerated for 10 years or longer who has less than 5 verifiable write-ups. Write-ups can be challenged and given due process, eliminate the 3 strike laws, eliminate the law establishing mandatory minimums, first offense of illegal drug use or possession, to require government payment for entry into an approved drug rehabilitation program rather than imprisonment. Okay, so it goes into that. Then it says constitutional and amendment codifying expansion of the 13th Amendment by the courts. Amendment will abolish slavery in any form, including as a punishable for crime as allowed by the 13th Amendment for prison inmates. Okay. Then on here it says police reform. They mention in here elimination of a no-knock warrant. They are unnecessary as police can secure the scene. It says chokeholds illegal nationwide. This will apply to any maneuver resembling a chokehold or designed to cut off airways to affect breathing. Okay, and then, it goes in more detail about that. Then he talks about entertainment industry reform and reparations, mandatory funding of Black studios by the largest Hollywood studios, recording companies, television studios, networks to compensate for years of lack of support, stereotyping, and damage to Black culture. Each will be required to fund an amount yearly. Black studios will own and produce content by Black creators and will run primarily by Black leadership. Content will be licensed to major studios. For a race to thrive, it must be able to create art that reflects its own views of the world. Racism still runs rampant throughout our society, and Hollywood is providing the instruction manual. Licensing of public airwaves to produce networks such as NWA BC, Fox, CBS, and ABC must require black produced content equal to 20% of the total content on the network as measured by time. Okay, so then it goes into monuments, institutions, eliminate all Confederate statues rather than destroy them. They are to be kept by the National Archives, Smithsonian Institute, and other and Longia State facilities. They are to be used only in displays and exhibits designed to investigate our racist past. This is not sanitizing our past, as history exists in books and online. There is no need to display monuments of these type. So, so he goes into talking about that. And I'm not sure if that was his call or if that was somebody else's call, but apparently they don't know that the Confederate flag originally was created by the American Indians. But anyways, so then he talks about neo-reconstruction. Okay. And then I'm going to skip down. He talks about economics. Then he said economic targets. Then we're talking about here, he says compensation for market value of slavery. Confederate Senator Judah Benjamin estimated the market value of slaves to be $4 billion in 1860, compounded to 2019. That would be about $9.3 trillion worth, and assumed that a 5% assumed interest is how much they will owe people of African descent. And then he talking about the Freedmen's Bank and Seneca Stone ring scandal. It says payment to the descendants of the depositors of the Freedmen's Bank due to the fact that the bank leader and noted Republican politician Henry Cook used the former slaves' funds during a financial collapse, and the federal government didn't ensure or supported the net present value to the account for interest of the capital was approximated to be $65 million in 2018 dollars. Then it says job market discrimination and calculation. So, and then it goes into restitution and all these other things. And so this contract is 22 pages, and we know that's a master mason number for a master builder when it comes to Masonic science. So tell me what do you think about this whole situation? To me personally, I see some things that I do agree with, and I see some things that I'm kind of on the fence about. But anyways, tell me, what do you think about this? Do you stand on the side of Plies, or do you agree with Lil Scrappy? Me personally, I agree with Lil Scrappy. I feel like the Ice Cube, he can't be canceled because he's already rich, he's already famous. And why would you cancel somebody who's obviously is trying to fight for you, who's trying to fight for the things that African Americans and American Indians are supposed to have anyways. So anyways, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.